And we're on to Psalm 12 now. And to find the first writers' formats in Psalms shows that they're hiding this from you ever since the manuscripts. So who is editing the text, and why are they not showing you the true truths of what I'm showing you? It's very easy to stick the text back into the first person. Right here, whoops, let me get here again, turn the lights on again. Whoops, that's 11. I need 12 up here. Let me dig in for 12. Sorry about that. I thought I was prepared. I'm just doing one right after another here tonight or today. And there's 12. And let me close that last one out. Save it. Okay. Again, we definitely know these cannot be sung, and we know that a lot of them are not from David. So let's just move on and show it's not godly man. Man cannot become a holiness or anything like that, but the righteous. He wants us to follow our creators or obey our creator as much as possible, and we are righteous for being that person who is obeying our creator. Help YV. For the righteous man ceases to be, for the faithful disappear, from among the sons, from among the children. Children from man, not of man. No, let's be really truthful here. Just an easy word to correct that they don't want to correct ever. From among the children from men, from among our children, for the faithful disappear from among our children. Don't need the rest pretty much. If I do this, then this doesn't need to be there, and this just gets taken out. They speak falsehood to one another. They speak falsehoods to another with flattering lips. In a double heart they speak. They speak falsehoods to one another with flattering lips, and with a double heart they speak. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to add the word there, with their flattering lips and a double heart they speak. With a false heart, with a deceiving heart, that should get a good spell check here. Change. Nope. All done. And with a deceiving heart they speak. And why have you cut off all the flattering lips? And the tongue that speaks great things. I have to look at that again. Who has said with our tongue, we will prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is wivy over us? Who have said with their tongue, we will prevail. For our lips, for from our lips are our own words. Who is wivy over us? Because of the devastation of the afflicted, because of the groaning of the needy, now I will rise, now I will arise, says YV, and set him in safety for which he belongs. Lord, that's just out of the blue. So the words from, not the words of. See, that's the difference between the one who is just editing and the one who doesn't care whether how our creator speaks of words of YV or words from YV. Which do you think should be the right word here? See, when you absolutely stop and take zealous for his truth and you start putting in the right words, it becomes easier and easier to tell yourself that this other word needs changing, this other word needs changing, and then you have this outright knowledge that the more you our creator has given you, because everyone is different. Everyone isn't going to edit exactly the way I'm editing. I'm editing a little bit different than you. Our creator made me see him 8 times, so I better know more than you. And this is why I'm telling you that when you who have a belief, that the truth for me should help your belief to become a trust. And here we're gonna, I just wanted to point out that if you take these Psalms and try doing them yourself, which I hope you do, so you can find out what you can find and what our creator has given to you, and then come back and visit the rest of the Psalms that I'm going to do, because I'm going to go through the 4 books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and really show you the truth there, because some of my videos at the very beginning that I've got in the description below show how stupid these editors have made Jesus. I mean, they got Jesus lying, said he was buried for 3 days. Show me where he was buried for 3 days, because I laid that video out and showed you the answer, that they put him in laid his body on a tomb, and when they came back to the tombs the next day, that his body he's already taken it back and walking around on earth. Words are pure as silver, tried in a furnace on earth, refined 7 times. This is doesn't even sound like it should ever have been written. You, Ivy, will keep them. with you. You will keep them. You will. Now, YV isn't preserving anybody. Well, preserve them from this generation forever. The wicked sprout about on every side. When violence is exalted among the sons of men. I don't know. I don't know. Let's try to make some sense out of this again. Help YV, for the righteous man ceases to be, for the faithful disappear from among our children. They speak falsehood. I would say now could be added. Now they speak falsehood to one another with their flattering lips and with deceiving hearts. With their flattering lips and their deceiving heart, they speak. Let YV cut them off, not maybe. Not maybe or might. Let Lord. They've fallen away. Let YV cut off. Not really. Let YV cast away all flattering lips. For the simple fact that you have to understand that our Creator told them that if they, part of his everlasting promises exist with the fact that he said if you go away from these 12 commandments and don't do as I obey you, I'm going to cast you from this land. And if at this time these words are being written, that the children that are growing up are just not trying to follow our Creator's commandments, the writer himself would say, let YV cast them away. Let YV send them away. Send would be into captivity. He sent them into captivity. Let him send them away. Let YV send them away. Everyone with flattering lips. Everyone with flattering lips and tongues. Boy, you think I could hit that? And tongues that speak. And tongues that speaks great things. Well, if they're flattering lips, they have to be double deceiving. It has to be deceiving. So where am I here? That great thing, they're deceiving. Tongues that speak deceiving things. Deceiving things, who have said with our tongue we will prevail, for from our lips are our own words. I might added too many words there. Who have said with their tongue we will prevail. Meaning, what do they mean by prevail? Why would they think they're prevailing? So we will live. I think it means live more than the word prevail. Let me go here to my program and see. Got some catching up to do. So we're in 12. Okay. Okay, prevailed. They have prevailed, used as exert, use it as the word great, magnify, strengthen, stronger, surpass. I need to get up and walk around a little bit. Sorry about that. As good as that garlic bread gets, it doesn't set with me. I'm on the word prevailed, and I went over here to the text. We will prevail, said with our tongue we will. But you can't prevail over our Creator. So the first writer would know that. Our Creator, we will, but those said to our tongue we will live. And from our lips and from our lips are our own words. Okay, this is more correct. I mean, I could add a lot more wording to it, but I'm just looking for the format right now. I'm going to do these over, or I'm going to clean them up to the best I can and go through that to show you how to clean these up, because what I am going to do is I'm going to release them in a PDF as done, so you have them. So if you're taking screenshots right now, sooner or later, when I get all 50 of them, 150 of them done, at the end will be that work of cleaning them up to be most truthful as I can get them, or edit them. Remember, they had 2,000 years on me of being edited and be able to play with these words and make them their own, to make whatever their own meanings mean for themselves and their way of life. So because when they're turning away from our Creator, now this text, what time would this text be written? This has to be this would have to be at the time Israel is starting to, when Jeroboam takes over, when our Creator, hold on here, maybe a lot of you don't know, but when the text said our Creator told Solomon that he's going to divide the nation of Israel that David had brought together, he's going to break them back apart. So we don't have text saying why they were broke apart the first time. We only have the second time where the text says that he broke them apart. So, but it's at this time that when Jeroboam, he starts to, their first king of Israel, sets up an altar that he liked at Damascus, and he set up some bowls and said, "This is your God," to like repeat the practice that they had in Egypt, which had already been gone for probably 400 years. He's trying to bring that back, and he did that because he didn't want his people from his kingdom going back to Jerusalem and then paying attention as Jerusalem as the real true leader, because our Creator's there. That after he started doing this, a lot of the good people, the Levites, they came and just left Israel and lived in Judah, and probably most likely a lot of other people got sick and tired of that, and those that could move did. And then what happened over the years is there's different kings. Let me show you my study of the maps here, and this will show you, not maps, but let's see if, yeah, it is in maps though. This here is my really in-depth study of the kings in the text, and these years are very exact. You correct these years and you correct these who's who in this deal, but you can see down here, let's see, this is maybe 130 years after. Let me do this. I'm just trying to do a quick 100, 200, maybe 250 years, 260 years that, oh wait, here, we got a minus 35 years. Okay, so 235 years later, this king loses these lands, okay? Now, that's when this text has to be written, because in here, there are, a lot of them are falling away, but a lot of times our Creator had sent a prophet to, remember Elijah and Elijah were both from the kingdom of, can't remember, I think they were around here in Abab or these kings here, but they were sent at that time, and they did come back to our Creator, because here his son, Jehoshaphat's son, became ruler over the kingdom of Israel, because our Creator anointed him, and he actually killed this king here to become king, because the commanders at that time were with him, helped him become king. And so then he went around and cleaned up the Israel, and then you can see they're falling away again. So somewhere in here you can see they're falling away, because our Creator is going to give them away, all these lands later. Now there was 10 of them, so he lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then later lost the last 3. So this is what I'm saying, is the text has to be written at that time, and that's pretty convenient to be able to understand when the text was written, because it said that it would come from the time of David, and yet you can see it's coming hundreds of years after David. So that's how we can date this text. And we have a scribe or a priest, someone of importance is able to write these things into their writings that have been destroyed. Now let me quickly show you that, if I keep telling you the manuscripts are really been was it overtaken and rewritten, and the original first writers' writings were destroyed. Let me show you this image here. This is of an Egyptian manuscript, and if you look down here, you're going to see that this text is over 4,000 years old. If they didn't destroy the original text, we would have had it. You see that? We would have had it, because those that were, if the believers were in charge of the text, they would still own it. But as the kingdoms got overthrown, it was because of these people that have a practice of meditating with a so-called female goddess. Let me bring that up. Here in Malachi 2:11, it talks about Judah as a kingdom. Now this is after Israel's kingdom is sent away. Now it's Judah's turn, that he has married the daughter of a foreign god. And we go on to see that here Jeremiah, who's second to the last, I think he's the second to the last prophet in Judah. And you can see that here they're gathering wood like their fathers, and their women were kneading dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven. This is showing you how corrupt the nation had become. And this is the belief, those that sit in darkness, okay? And I think you're probably aware of the mother of all horrors that's referred to in Babylon. So people are sitting and meditating and having this so-called sex with a so-called female goddess. Yes, she can be the mother of all horrors by doing this. So, yeah, I think I don't want to go too much farther away than what I am right now, and let's get back to the text. But it lets you understand where or when this text was written. We have a good idea now. Before we had it way back there at Joshua's time. Now we're a couple hundred years ahead here. But the object is I'll just try to continue editing and find this format. Have said with our tongue, we will live by our will or our way, by our ways, by our way, and not our Creator's way, by our will. I don't like to use the word way. By our will. And from our lips are our own words. Who is wise over us? Nah, don't like the way that's said, but it stays with the 4 verse. This is 4 verse, this is 4 verse, this is 4 verse, this is 3. I would say there's a verse missing here. And I guess I do need the word law. So I'll get rid of it. And the tongue that speaks deceiving things. Yeah, I'm seeing a verse missing here. So I'll just do that. And I'll try to make that 11 point. Who have said with our tongue, we will live by our from our lips are our own words. Who and who is what? So, who is YV over us? Because of the devastation of the afflicted, because of the groaning of the needy. Now this is weird because this definitely doesn't, this sounds too different. This here is, we definitely understand what's going on here, okay? Now, this sounds like it's like a part 2 of this because of the devastation of our, because of their devastation, because of their not obeying our Creator, because of their devastation. I'm trying to think of why it's up here, and they aren't really. It's devastation. I would consider the land already being destroyed and overtaken by those that have conquered it. Because of their devastation, our righteous have been afflicted. Because of the groanings of our needy, now I'll rise, says YV. See, this is like the text here is missing above it. But it's almost like as if it's going to be 2 verse. There's 2 things missing here, or 2 verses missing. Because of their devastation, we are afflicted. Because of our needy. You have to remember, the good guys are writing this, not the bad guys, so well, this we can tell is separate. That's almost like it's reading from somewhere else. So all we have is really this. I can't see these being tied here because this just doesn't sound like the same writer. I mean, when I'm reading these, you can almost feel how this person writes, and the way that they tie these 2 together really gives a lot to say about that writing style of that writer. It's detective work, but it does play into who wrote what text. To write this, see, this isn't connecting. These 2 aren't connecting. Okay. You will keep them, and then it's to him from this generation. You will preserve him from this. Not you will save him from this generation forever. See how odd that is? Well, we're just going to call that out. We know that that piece doesn't belong. Um, but I don't see why he's saying this. I mean, I'm trying to go through all the kings in my head that I know about, and at what time or who would be saying something like this. Because one, a king would have to write this, or one of like a commander or an elder of one of the tribe leaders, um, because if this was in the original text, or if this was in the first writer's text, I'm trying to make sense of where this piece would belong. And I don't see, I will set him in safety which he longs. Because there's nobody here that does that. I mean, of all the kings, I know that I'm having so much trouble with this that I'm going to just say no. I can't even say this is part 2 of this. So let me see if I can tie this to. Oh, rise up. Meaning that send somebody as to take away those that are devastating and causing all those problems. No, no. And these, because these words, if our creator was saying these words, it's just kind of odd to, I will set them in safety for longs. No, this is just something that our creator would not have said. I know a lot of the text, because I've been doing this for what, since since 85, I think. So I can just tell you that sometimes I can go through just like that and kind of say that, but I can't really specifically point to anyone who would have our creator would have sent a prophet to say something like this. So, but if this writer was writing, and the text does continue here, because he's writing that they are at that time being overtaken, which you've seen when I said that they finally came down and started taking pieces of the Israeli kingdom apart. This covers, because of their devastation we are afflicted, because of the groaning of our needy. Now rise up for us, YV. But these just don't belong. These wouldn't belong to this verse here. And this just goes someplace else. Those words just go someplace else. So I would have to say that there's a lot of the text missing here. A whole lot. Because what we have here, when I get cleaned none of this up, and then reading it. Now we have text that looks like it belongs together, but a lot of it missing. Let me shrink it down. Will it go all on the, yeah, it's there all on one page. So, help, Ivy, for the righteous man ceases to be, for the faithful disappeared among our children. Now they speak falsehood to one another with their flattering lips, and with deceiving hearts they speak. Let Ivy send them away, everyone with flattering lips and tongues that speak deceiving things. And then there's no verse, because that is showing that that should have a verse. Who have said with our tongue we will live by our will, and our lips are our own words. So who is wise over us? But this text here, this text too doesn't belong, because there's just too much missing to say it should be gathered there. So I'm going to come up here and get rid of that, that, and those, that one, and all of that is just not any good. Just not any good. Okay. There's what's left of 12. Okay, not much. And we're going to run into a lot of this coming up. I just didn't know how soon this was going to happen, but I'm just letting you know that this is going to happen quite a bit.